Why Jennifer Lopez gambled $20 million on her comeback. In a dazzling intersection of love, fame, and self-reflection, Jennifer Lopez embarks on a bold journey to reclaim her narrative. Following her marriage to Ben Affleck in 2022, Lopez dives deep into her romantic past, crafting a $20 million multimedia project that combines music, film, and personal storytelling. With the guidance of friends like Fonda, she aims to explore her life as a serial romantic, turning past heartbreaks into a captivating celebration of resilience and growth. This ambitious endeavor not only seeks to entertain, but also to resonate with audiences on a profoundly emotional level, inviting them to witness the evolution of a pop culture icon. A few months after Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were married in 2022, Lopez got a call from Fonda. The two had been friends since 2005's Monster-in-Law, and it was Fonda who had introduced J.Lo when she received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Fonda was reaching out because Lopez had asked her to appear in a yet undefined film with music that would examine Lopez's romantic failures in some kind of meta way. Lopez wanted Fonda to play a member of her Zodiac love council. Fonda had her doubts, so before deciding, she talked to Benny Medina, Lopez's longtime manager, expressing skepticism about any project that seemed to excessively celebrate the Affleck-Lopez reunification. Medina relayed to Lopez Fonda's thoughts. "I believe that everyone in the entire world is pulling for this relationship and this love. And the idea of how you present that is so sacrosanct, so important. It should be handled in a way that you aren't overly flaunting it, so much so that it creates any form of criticism or resentment." Lopez and Fonda then talked directly in a conversation that is included in Lopez's new documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, one component of a self-financed $20 million, three-part multimedia project examining Lopez's life as a serial romantic. "I want you to know that I don't entirely know why, but I feel invested in you and Ben, and I want this to work," Fonda says in the documentary, speaking for much of the universe. "However, this is my concern. Like, it feels too much like you're trying to prove something instead of just living it. You know, every other photograph is the two of you kissing, and the two of you hugging. On screen," Lopez laughs. "That's just us living our life," she says. Fonda eventually agreed to be in the musical film. In the doc, Fonda expresses another universal worry. It was shortly after photos emerged of Affleck looking bored or cranky with Lopez at the Grammys in March 2023. "I got real scared, you know, with all that shit about the Grammys, and he looks unhappy, and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?" Lopez reassures her, "Nothing." He was like, "I've become the symbol of the beleaguered man a ton of us like to dwell on our worst moments." But Lopez is different. 20 years ago, Ben Affleck was a cute bunny that turned out to be a tasty snack for the tabloids. Lopez and Affleck met, fell in love. They made Martin Brest's classic Giggly and were hounded by the press, splitting up 3 days before their 2003 wedding. "Our relationship crumbled under the weight of the pressure," Lopez tells me. "We lost a sense of ourselves, and we needed to separate because we didn't know how to survive it. I had to figure myself out, and he had to figure himself out." That was 2 decades ago. The media world has changed. J.Lo has earned more than $1 billion in box office receipts, and that's just for her rom-coms. She now has a newsletter, 17.5 million TikTok watchers, and a 250 million Instagram followers. She is now the Cobra, and the tabloids are the bunnies. The first time Lopez was in love with Affleck, the crush of cameras took him away from her, leading her into multiple baffling relationships. This time, Lopez is turning the tables and seems intent on sharing every shred of their love while Affleck grudgingly follows along. In the documentary, Affleck says, "Private things I always felt are sacred and special because, in part, they're private." He then delivers an understatement. "So this was something of an adjustment for me. Still, even a Cobra is vulnerable." I asked Lopez if Affleck and other loved ones had told her that this project was, well, insane. "Everybody thought I was crazy," she says with a loud laugh. "And by the way, I thought I was crazy. I didn't know the scope of Lopez's aspirations when I started this story." Last summer, I made my way to the Lopez and Affleck manor, somewhere off Mulholland Drive, for an oft-rescheduled promotional chat about her new album, This Is Me Now, a sequel to her 2002 album, This Is Me Then. The couple's residence has multiple gates. much like a military installation. A security guy insisted I sign a non-disclosure agreement before I entered the property, which seemed strange since I was there to interview Lopez about her new record. There was an empty police car outside the main gate. But no matter, I was directed to another gate about a mile away, near the satellite parking for the dozen or so SUVs belonging to contractors and other employees. Eventually, I was taken by a golf cart to what seemed like an annex to the main house. After a wait, Lopez arrived in a creme-colored pantsuit, exposing just a touch of her famous age-defined midriff. She exuded wit, class, and a rigorous skin regimen. We talked about her new record and how it explicitly addresses her restarted relationship with Affleck, just like the This Is Me Then album addressed their earlier romance. The first is a song called Dear Ben, and the second is a song called Dear Ben P. The new album is old-school Lopez, partly inspired by her teenage twins, whom she shares with her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. She'd been prepping for a private show and had This Is Me Then playing in the house. She noticed her kids listening intently. They said, "Is this you, Mommy?" Lopez says with a smile, "I'm like, yeah, this is an album I did 18 years ago. I played them another song and asked them if they liked it, and they said yes, and I said, I wrote this." And then they're like, "Yeah, we like this more than the music you make now." Lopez laughs. Ouch. But a good ouch. Lopez is patient in answering my questions, but her responses are guarded. This seems odd since the record is pure first-person journalism about her love for Affleck, down to a song about the couple's trip to Las Vegas to get married. Finally, after asking for assurances that I won't repeat any of what she says until after rollouts, single releases, and premieres, she tells me about the big 3-part multimedia project I mentioned above. She says that the record This Is Me Now is just the first part of that 3-pronged attack on the world's senses. There will also be an hour-long Amazon original musical film called This Is Me Now, a love story, and then a documentary about the making of the record and the film. Someone then brings Lopez a laptop, and she says that what she's about to show me will be embargoed. I don't want to spoil things for you, but joining Fonda and Trevor Noah in a partly animated musical journey through many of the songs on This Is Me Now are Post Malone, Sofia Vergara, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Keith Palmer, and a few other famous randos. They're all on that Zodiac Love Council, examining Lopez's romantic foibles. There is a special appearance by Guru to the Star's Sad Guru, which, according to the documentary, added $200,000 to the film's budget. Affleck plays a wizened TV commentator. Conclusion. In conclusion, Jennifer Lopez's ambitious $20 million multimedia project represents her desire to redefine her narrative as both an artist and a romantic figure. By inviting prominent figures like Jane Fonda into her journey, she seeks to explore her past and present relationships, particularly with Ben Affleck, while navigating the complexities of public perception. This venture not only showcases her evolution over 2 decades, but also highlights her determination to control her story, inviting audiences to delve into the layers of her life and love. As she embraces vulnerability and creativity, Lopez aims to transform her romantic history into an ultimate celebration of resilience and authenticity. Have you enjoyed this content? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.